are changing the narrative and reducing the stigma around difficult topics. So Glow is here, Glow Harper and Autumn Brown are joining us from Ellie Mental Health. I thank you both for being here today.
Thank you.
And our topic is suicide. I know that it is a topic that most people don't like to address, they don't want to talk about, but I feel like it needs to be addressed. And there are a lot of misconceptions, misunderstandings when it comes to the topic in general, I feel like.
Yeah, so at Ellie, one of the main things that we want to do is increase those conversations about suicide, right? So open, honest conversations about what people are going through, what they're struggling with, the misunderstandings or misconceptions, right? That people who are suicidal are just seeking attention, right? That the more you talk about suicide, the more likely you are to commit suicide, right? Not true. Some of the ideas that people who commit suicide, like I said, they are just, looking for attention from people who, they need more attention. Really, the truth is that people who are suicidal are ambivalent, meaning that they go back and forth. So 1 minute they're fine, the next minute they are not okay. It could be that's the smallest thing to push them over the edge to make them follow through and commit suicide. So having more open conversations with them, really understanding, creating access to, more mental health care for them. What we know about suicide is men complete suicide 4 times more than women. That the population that commits suicide most is our geriatric population, so 85 and older. Suicide remains a leading cause of death in adolescents. Actually, ages 10 to 35, it's the second leading cause of death.
Wow.
So that is, wild, those statistics. The population that commits it the most is also Native Americans. So just really a call for attention to what we need to do, how we need to get better access to mental health care.
It's so, that's key. That is key. I mean, and that's a whole nother topic too. But I think, this is an important topic for people who have never thought about that, who might come in contact with someone in their life like that. I think it is a reminder that, I think sometimes it can, when people hear someone saying, "Oh, I think I want to do something to harm myself," and then they're fine the next minute, that you brush it off and you act like, "Oh, it's nothing." So what should we be looking out for?
Yeah, so the most important thing is to really increase awareness of what it could look like. So for a lot of people, it might look like, withdrawing from others, isolating, maybe feeling like hopeless or helpless, even worthless at times, giving away maybe prized possessions, writing letters to people, saying your goodbyes, could even be researching ways to harm yourself, engaging in self-harm, and then we have the common ones, which are more so depression, low mood, maybe sleep windows are off, engaging in risky behaviors, just really not taking care of ourselves and just really not speaking about it either.
Now, and when I was younger, I remember I had someone close to me that had been saying things, and someone mentioned to me, and this probably, I'm guessing, is a misconception, and I bring it up not to call attention to myself and maybe how I handled it, but what I was told was when people are talking about it often, that probably means they're not going to do anything about it, and I feel like this is probably a huge misconception.
Yeah. So if people are talking about it, that is a cry for help, right? So like I said, people who commit suicide are ambivalent. So it's I can feel depressed and I can be upset and I can have no motivation, and the next day I can look like I'm fine, right? We wear a mask, and the smallest thing, somebody doesn't recognize how upset I am, or somebody says the wrong thing to me, and now I've decided I'm going to do this and I'm starting to make plans to do it, right? And like Autumn said, that researching ways to hurt yourself or harm yourself, giving things away, those are the most important things you can do as somebody who is in your position, is recognizing signs. If somebody is talking about it, they're saying, I need help, right?
And that was a long time ago, and thankfully they're okay and moved past from it. But I took action and I called the proper people to get help, because I didn't want to not do that and worry what would have been if I hadn't. But having a facility or a place like yours to go to for people to get that help, I mean, you offer so much there.
Oh yeah, so we have 3 locations. We are in Akron on White Pond Drive. That's our newest location. We have our Hudson location that's been open for about 2.5 years, and then we have a Beechwood location. And so our whole goal and philosophy at Ellie really is to make mental health care accessible to everyone, right? So why shouldn't we be able to get health care like we can go to McDonald's?
Absolutely.
Right? So
Amen to that.
Yeah, so if you need it, we're here for you. We do online scheduling, which is beautiful because some people just, it's a step to even have the conversation to pick up the phone, right? I call it heavy phone syndrome. It's hard to pick up the phone and reach out and say, hey, I need help. Because again, there's so much stigma, not just with suicide, but with mental health. You can call our client access team. We have websites you can reach out to. So yes, we are here.
They're here for you. Take advantage of that.
Yes.
Ellie Mental Health there. Check them out at their locations. There's their website. Thank you both for coming in today and sharing all that. It's an important discussion to have for sure.
Thank you.
Thank you for having
both.
us.
Thank you.